Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Motorgraph World channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to experience Korea's luxury sedan. I'm here with the G90 long wheelbase, so let's take a look at what Korean luxury really is. So now I'm sitting in the second row seats, which is probably the most important seating area of the G90 because this is the long wheelbase. It's the limousine version. People who are sitting on especially this seat will determine whether or not they like the car. As for the interior, in my personal taste, it's a bit too much because everything is screaming at me. The quilted seats, the door trim, as well as the veneers on the door trim, that's all over the place right now. It seems that it's a little bit too much for me. I would like my designs to be a little streamlined. For the ride comfort, it is slightly bumpy, but overall the seats are quite comfortable. There's a ton of different features that you can use from the back seat. A lot of it is automated. For example, we tried out the doors. They close automatically. This one also works with the touch of a button. And the back also. If you want maximum privacy and if you want to take a nap in the second row of the seats, then you can close all of the shades as well as the sunroof, and you can take a peaceful nap. If you want more sun, if you want more light, then it's also another touch of the button. And you can open up all of the windows. The windows are quite sizable, so it won't give you that impression that you have limited line of sight. You definitely have a lot to see. They're very wide. Once again, considering that the wheelbase itself is 3,370 millimeters, it's very long, which gives you enough of the windows that will open up for light. So now I've clicked on the rest mode, which will automatically put my seat into a position where I can really stretch out my legs, have the footrest as well, and, take a nap. This is really comfortable. I mean, it puts you in a position where it's kind of like no gravity seats. And so you can really stretch out your legs, put your feet on the footrest there, and the bottom part of the seats will automatically push up to give you more support. And I can actually get more light when you're going inside a tunnel, like now. You can touch a button and it will automatically turn on all of the lights, even in the front row, to give you maximum light exposure. There's also a control where you can adjust the lumix of the lights. So this is a warm setting. This is the average setting. And this is more of a clean or cool, crisp feeling. You can also adjust the brightness. I will put it on maximum at the moment. I could get used to this. If you consider that this is the most expensive vehicle among the Korean domestic cars, well, you want as much features and as much comfort that you can get out of the car. For the seats, they are in fact very comfortable. There's a lot of cushion in it. You also have this headrest, which is kind of like a pillow. And it's quite comfortable if you press your head down on it. The seat positions on the G90 is slightly higher up compared to some of the competitor models from the German brands. If you have a higher seat position, that means that you could have a little bit of a rolling effect when you're going on corners. And that you will get fired if you are a chauffeur if you do that. You do feel the bumps and slight vibrations coming from the roads, but I do feel that it's quite quiet. It's quite effective in blocking out exterior noise. If you're considering that you are on a call with someone inside the car, or if you're working on your laptop and you have to look at some documentation, it's very important that the car or the driving itself doesn't hinder the person from working or from having a peaceful time from the back seat. Let's first return the seat back to its normal position. I do wish sometimes that these automated seat adjustments would work a little bit faster. They're a bit too slow for me. Another feature that you can adjust from the back row is the HVAC. So you have a multiple of various adjustments, the direction, the level of air conditioning. You can also switch on the massage functions of the seat, which are provided both for the left and right seats. And you can also turn it off and watch the media in front of you. So once you click on the home button, you'll have the setting here, and you can adjust which one you want to see, left or right. You can turn on the radio, music, you can watch TV. You also have a camera version, and you can see how the road is up ahead because you have the camera view. So if you feel that this front seat is hindering your line of sight for the road up ahead, then you can actually turn on the camera and see what's going on the road in front of you. 회장님 어떠십니까?
내일부터 안 나와도
When you're selecting this size of a vehicle, especially the long wheelbase for the G90, I think that you wouldn't be driving the car. You would either be using it as your corporate vehicle for the chairman or the CEO, or you would be either maybe a limousine driver. So there would be different aspects of what you look for in a car. You wouldn't be looking for acceleration, fast 0 to 100, but you would be looking for stability, the refinement of the drive. But comparing it with German brands, there is a distinct difference in how the car drives. It's as if you're riding a boat on the waves where you have a little bit of tide. So you have that constant kind of flow. So I personally like the fact that it sits heavy on the road and it offers a smooth drive. It's not heavily responsive or very fast, but befitting a sedan and a limousine, it has that presence on the road. When the car comes to a stop, and when it also takes off again, there's not much movement in the car. It's quite stable, which I think is another element that you would be looking for because of the very picky passengers in the back. So even when you take off again, there's not much of a movement. The car does offer quite a stable ride. It has the power to go uphill on a very smooth and steady path. It does require a little bit of a push, but I think I personally, for the driver's point of view, I personally like cars that are a little bit more on the heavier side. This one provides that smooth, down-to-earth kind of feel where it has the four wheels planted on the road. If you turn on the turn signal, then you will automatically get the camera. So now we're back at our parking lot. Overall, I wasn't blown away by the car. There's not much of a wow factor, but then again, I would never opt to purchase this kind of a limousine car for driving purposes. If I became a chairman or a CEO of some company, maybe I would use it as a company car for the backseat. but not for driving purposes. So in terms of stability and the overall smoothness of the drive, yes, it's okay, but there's not much of a wow factor. So now we've tested the car, and in fact, the design hasn't changed that much. If you look at the front face, you can also see the double layer of the grille, and you also have these distinctive headlamps all the way to the front fender. And these headlamps are actually said to be the slimmest in the mass production vehicle industry. There's also the change in the wheels, because these are exclusive wheels for the G90 long wheelbase. The entire length of the car is 5,465 millimeters. It's a very long car. And among that, 3,370 millimeters is the wheelbase. You can imagine how much room you have inside. So what did you think about Korea's luxury G90 long wheelbase sedan? And we're really curious to know how this vehicle will sell in the overseas markets. So tell us your comments down below, and remember to click subscribe. See you next time.